distinguished pleasure to introduce to the floor our incumbent President, Dr. Cho Jong-won. Please.
Before I make my speech, I must apologize to rush our General Assembly. As you know that we have an 8 o'clock opening ceremony, so I had to rush to the General Assembly. Dear members, in June 2004, I was elected as President of World Taekwondo Federation. It was a great honor for me, as Taekwondo is a sport I hold close to my heart. When I assumed my responsibilities, it was under no illusion that it would be an easy tenure. The WTF and Taekwondo were in disarray. There was a lot of uncertainty about our Olympic status. That was when I decided to initiate a reform for the betterment of sport and organization. A reform committee was set up in November 2004, and our dear friend Dr. Nat Indrapana chaired it. Together with the 10 other members and a group of secretariats, the reform committee worked tirelessly on an initial 16 issues that needed crucial improvements. After a series of long but meaningful meetings in Seoul and Bangkok, the Reform Committee proposed a set of recommendations. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reform Report is in your hands today. On March 10, 2005, we held an extraordinary Executive Council meeting in the IOC headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland. We wanted to show the IOC that we were ready to internationalize. It was a momentous day for the WTF and the sport of Taekwondo. The Executive Council knew what was at stake, the status of Taekwondo in the Olympic Games. In a remarkable display of solidarity, the Executive Council unanimously approved the reform process in principle. The Taekwondo family was also honored to have the presence of the IOC President, Dr. Jacques Roguet, in our meeting. Dr. Roguet stressed on the importance of reform, not only for our sport, but also for other Olympic sports as well. He was extremely pleased with our reform progress and pledged his full support for the WTF. Dr. Roguet's firm belief in our reform process bodes well for the future of Taekwondo. In addition, the WTF distributed the reform fund and its usage guidelines to the regional unions and 177 national associations. We delivered on a promise that I made during my inauguration. That is, the regional unions and national associations will no longer be overlooked by the WTF. We seek your support in helping us serve you better. And we will continue to deliver on our promises. Members, we all know that the IOC Program Commission has produced an evaluation report to be submitted to the Executive Council. We know from the evaluation criteria that the report may be negative in certain areas, such as in the low level of media exposure, refereeing and judging standards, and low marketing activities. But I am confident that as long as we are determined, as long as we carry on to make positive changes, the IOC will recognize our efforts. We will be able to survive. That is always hope. Dear friends, the WTF has been rife with political jockeying and turmoil, especially over the past year. It has caused too much confusion and headaches for global Taekwondo fans. I say to you, let's stop the bickering today. We are grateful to have Dr. Roge and the IOC support our reform. But let's not be carried away by it. We have just begun on the road to reform. The reform process has not finished. It is even possible that it may never be completed in the life of this administration. But I say to you that we are committed to the cause. The reform process should not stop. It must continue until the day we are confirmed as a permanent Olympic sport. Even then, we must strive to be the best sport in the Olympic program. Other international federations succeeded in their reforms because they were united with their leaders. They were successful because they believed in all for one and one for all. So I say to you, dear friends, let us begin today in the beautiful city of Madrid. Today, the global family of Taekwondo will go forward together with united strength. Today, we truly deliver Korea's gift to the world. Thank you.
Next, current Vice President and Challenger, Dr. Sunjae Park.
Good evening, dear delegates of the General Assembly. My speech is based on the presumption that opposition makes a stronger democracy. Many of you were puzzled by my decision to run for presidency again after previously withdrawing my candidacy in Seoul. I have never undertaken an assignment within the WTF for my own personal benefit. Even in 2004, when I was asked by the board to take the role of acting president at a very critical and difficult time for Taekwondo. Even then, I decided to lend my faith to safeguard Taekwondo, not out of ambition but sense of duty, while many others were fleeing. I have always believed that those who take on the responsibility of managing Taekwondo at all levels must also respect the rules. For over 30 years, we have supported our president because we firmly believed that doing so was in the highest interest of Taekwondo. During the last election, when I became aware that the situation was degenerating, I decided to withdraw from running because I did not want to create more division within us. I was then offered, as it happens again today, many prominent roles to induce me to pull back. Obviously, those who do this do not know me at all. Much evidence has come up to bring greatly into question Dr. Cho's candidacy, why there is a great deal of connivance. Many are trying to conceal this evidence. Also, I believe that what is wished will be exposed sooner or later. Once again, I wanted to fight this battle in person because it is for a good reason. Because of my concern with protecting the WTF, I am challenging the eligibility of Dr. Cho to the candidacy because of what I believe to be a gross disregard for the rules and regulations. The rules and regulations require a candidate to be an executive board member of a member national association. As you are all well aware, the WTF for 30 years has been ruled by outside influences. To ensure that in the future this would not be the case, the General Assembly passed an amendment requiring officials to be executive board members of the National Association. History now seems to be repeating itself in contravention of the intention of the General Assembly. As all of you know, I have held every possible position in WTF, including acting president. More importantly, I am also president of a member national association, as most of you are. I withdrew from the race last June for unity's sake and what is best for Taekwondo. When I discovered after the election that Mr. Cho was never an executive board member of the Korea Taekwondo Association, merely a political advisor, I became quite concerned. I submitted my name again for president to put a stop to this outside influence once and for all. Finished? And one page.
Tomorrow to speak another 30 seconds.
Okay. An injunction was filed with court in Korea in an effort to suspend of Dr. Cho's candidacy. But as you know, the Korean court turned down the case based on the fact that they are unable to verify the authenticity of documents that KTA presented 1 year after the fact. On February 21st of this year in Seoul, in my hotel room at the Intercontinental Hotel, Mr. Cho himself admitted to me, Vice President Sang Lee and EXCO member Hwa Chung, that he was an unappointed advisor of KTA. Thank you.
Okay, it's a moment for your opportunity to select next 4 years our dynamic organization. The process is going to be the national delegate first, executive